Chapter 40-22. He has been resurrected and is in our dragon roar forbidden ground. Long Yinyin said to Wang Xian with reddened eyes. Let's go. It's great that he can be resurrected. Let's head over. Wang Xian nodded his head and said to her. Yeah. Long Yinyin nodded her head with a worried look on her face. Although Yin Hao can be resurrected, he has already cultivated to this level. Even with sufficient resources in the future, it will take hundreds of millions of years to recover to the 7th Order Universe Lord Rel. This will have a huge impact on his future. It's all right. Don't worry. Wang Xian comforted her. He looked at her and asked, Yinyin, do you know how Yin Hao died? Father didn't tell me. He said he would tell me when I returned. Long Yinyin answered. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he heard this. It seemed like Long Yinin's death wasn't that simple. If he had died in the hands of a magical beast, Long Yinin's father would have nothing to hide. Wang Xian brought Long Yinyin along and flew rapidly to the teleportation array for teleportation. Tianyuan City was still far from the Dragon Roar forbidden ground. It took them more than 10 days to arrive at the Dragon Roar forbidden ground. They immediately flew towards the sky peak. Father. Before reaching the door, Long Yinyin had already opened his mouth and shouted loudly. Yinyin, Xiao Xian is here too. Come over. The voice of Long Yinin's father came from inside. When Wang Xian and the rest entered, they found many people already seated and standing. They were all experts of the Dragon Roar forbidden ground, including the Laozu of Long Yinyin, the founder of the Dragon Roar forbidden ground. Father, grandfather, Laozu, how is Yin Hao now? Long Yinyin asked hurriedly. Yin Hao is fine. It's just that all his cultivation has disappeared and he needs to cultivate from scratch. Long Yinin's father sighed and answered. Uncle, how did Yin Hao die? Wang Xian stood at the side and asked directly. His words caused the expression of Long Yinin's father to change slightly. Around them, the expressions of the patriarchs of the Dragon Roar forbidden land slowly turned ugly. According to Yin Hao, he was killed by a sneak attack. He didn't see the attacker, but before he died, he saw a few faces. There was the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's Holy Prince, an 8th Order Sovereign Realm expert, the Space Forbidden Land's Holy Prince Shu Ni, and several experts from the Space Forbidden Land. The one who ambushed him should be an expert from the Forbidden Space Zone, because before he died, he felt the fluctuations of the space attribute. Long Yinin's grandfather, the second elder, slowly opened his mouth to speak. At the end, he sighed helplessly. This. Why did they want to kill Yin Hao? Yin Hao didn't offend them. How could they do this? Grandpa, didn't the experts of the Thoughtful Forbidden Land and the Flowing Water Forbidden Land say that they forbid any disciples from fighting? They killed Yin Hao. We're going to sue them and tell the masters of the Innocence Forbidden Land and the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. When Long Yinyin heard this, his face revealed an angry expression as he shouted loudly. We can sue them. But without any evidence, how would they believe us? Especially when they have the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's Holy Prince and experts from the Space Forbidden Land among them. The Flowing Water Forbidden Land and the Space Forbidden Land. If we don't have evidence, they'll accuse us of framing them. Our Dragon Roar Forbidden Land won't be able to bear it. It's possible that. Sigh. The second elder shook his head, feeling weak all over. Their Dragon Roar Forbidden Land had been thriving for the past few 100 million years. They had the powerful Holy Prince Wang Xian, and 2 holy sons and holy daughters with unparalleled potential. However, the experts of the Dragon Roar Forbidden Land knew the real situation. Holy Prince Wang Xian was an outsider after all. His identity was so mysterious that even the Dragon Roar Forbidden Land didn't know a thing or two. Therefore, they still relied on Long Yinyin and Long Yinhao. Fortunately, Long Yinyin and Long Yinhao had also lived up to expectations. Especially Long Yinhao, who had reached the 7th Order Universe Sovereign Realm at such a young age. In the future, he would reach the pinnacle Sovereign Realm. But now, he had suddenly fallen midway. Their Dragon Roar Forbidden Land suffered more than anyone else. The Flowing Water Forbidden Land, the Space Forbidden Land. In the absence of evidence, even if Long Yinhao had seen them before his death, what could he do? They didn't dare to spread the news. This was the tragedy of a weak force. The saints of the space forbidden land and their experts. The saints of the flowing water forbidden land and their experts. Hearing their words, Wang Xian's eyes flickered. Wang Xian knew about the flowing water forbidden land. Back in the universe ruins, he didn't get the corpse of the water attribute expert in the demonic column. At that time, his eyes were filled with anger, unwillingness, and jealousy. Wang Xian had sensed it. It was just that he didn't take it seriously at that time. Was it revenge on Long Yinhao now? Perhaps it wasn't just this. Wang Xian thought of Holy Daughter Liu Yu. This might even involve Holy Daughter Liu Yu. Grandpa, can we go and see Yinhao now? Long Yinyin bit his lip and asked the second elder. His inside. The second elder said as he pointed to the location inside. Long Yinyin nodded and walked straight in. Wang Xian immediately followed by the side. The two entered the location inside. In the deepest part, in a pool, Long Yinhao sat cross-legged. However, at this time, he was extremely weak. He hadn't even reached the Emperor God realm. Brother. Long Yinyin saw his younger brother and felt his aura. His expression changed as he shouted. Sister, Brother Wang Xian, you're here. Long Yinhao opened his eyes. When he saw Wang Xian and Long Yinyin, he smiled and shouted. Are you all right? Long Yinyin looked at him with heartache and opened his mouth. Sister, what can happen to me? I just died once. Didn't I come back to life? However, I'm afraid I'll need some time to recover to my peak. Long Yinhao squeezed out a smile and said. Long Yinyin looked at his smile and didn't know what to say for a moment. It's all right. Just cultivate well. I'll get my revenge. Wang Xian said plainly to Long Yinhao. Brother Wang Xian, if you can cultivate to the creation of Sky Yuan realm, no, as long as you reach the pinnacle of the universe Lord realm, you'll be invincible below the creation of Sky Yuan realm. At that time, you'll be able to help me vent my anger. Ha ha ha, I'll have to rely on you in the future. Upon hearing Wang Xian, Long Yinhao laughed heartily. His mentality wasn't too bad. Although 400 million years had passed, there hadn't been much change. All right, I'll be back soon. When Wang Xian heard him, he chuckled. Soon, there was still a month before his real body arrived. Chapter 4023, Hehe, I believe in Brother Wang Xian. In the future, Brother Wang Xian will definitely be the top existence in our sword and sorcery universe. Long Yinhao said with a smile. By the way, Yinhao, does Saintess Liu Yu know that you have fallen? Yinhao, do you know the specific reason for your death? Long Yinyin asked. Liu Yu already knows. She said she would rush over. As for the specific reason, I only have a rough guess. Long Yinhao's smile disappeared when he heard this. What reason? Because of Saintess Liu Yu? Wang Xian asked directly. Long Yinhao remained silent for a while before nodding. Should be. It should be because of Flowing Water Haolian of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. Flowing Water Haolian? The grandson of the current master of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area, Flowing Water Haolian? Long Yinin's expression changed as he asked. Long Yinhao slightly nodded his head. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows when he heard this. And it was related to the grandson of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area? As for the reason, they could guess it without Long Yinhao saying it. It was nothing more than jealousy. It was nothing more than jealousy because he was with Saintess Liu Yu. And it even involved the grandson of the master of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. No wonder the experts of the Dragon Roar Forbidden Area couldn't do anything about it. I didn't tell Liu Yu. Sister, don't tell her either. Long Yinhao reminded Long Yinyin. I know. Long Yinyin frowned and nodded. His face was filled with helplessness. Wang Xian didn't say much. After chatting with Long Yinhao for a while, they went out. Long Yinin's family felt a little heavy in their hearts. They gave Wang Xian a simple reception. I'll settle Yinhao's matter in about a month. Just in time, I'll settle everything in the past as well. Wang Xian and Long Yinyin came to the waterfall of Sky Peak as he spoke. Brother Wang Xian, how are you going to settle it? What's the matter in the past? Long Yinyin looked at Wang Xian with surprise and asked. The reason I chose to go into seclusion in the past hundreds of millions of years was because I was attacked in the Devil Beast Abyss. I've already caught the attacker, but the aftermath has not been settled. Wang Xian didn't hide and answered directly. Ah! Hearing this, Long Yinyin looked at him nervously. Wait for more than a month. After more than a month, you will understand. Wang Xian patted her head and did not tell her anything else. Over a month later, Wang Xian would fuck anyone he didn't like. How dare he bully his own brother-in-law? Wasn't that courting death? So what if the Forbidden Water area had the fortune of Qianyuan? At that time, he really didn't believe that the Sword and Magic Universe's Heaven's Origin creation would dare to fight against him. If a great battle were to break out, the shockwaves would cause the entire Sword and Magic Universe to suffer disastrous losses. It could cause the death of billions of lives in the Sword and Magic Universe. At this time, they absolutely did not dare to erupt into a battle that was too strong. Otherwise, the arrival of the cataclysm would be the doomsday of the Sword and Magic Universe. Therefore, he was no longer afraid of the Sword and Magic Universe's Heaven's Origin creation. Together with the matter from 400 million years ago, it would all be resolved. What lawsuit are you selling? You're so mysterious. Even our roaring dragon Forbidden Ground doesn't know your background. Long Yinyin looked at him and couldn't help but speak. Anyway, you don't have to worry. Wang Xian said with a smile. All right. Since you've said so, I won't worry anymore. Long Yinyin smiled and nodded. However, when Wang Xian was preparing to take action more than a month later, half a month later, Saintess Liu Yu suddenly arrived. After her arrival, she immediately went to look for Long Yinhao. Both of them had a good chat at the beginning. However, 7 days later, things suddenly got out of hand. Saintess Liu Yu suddenly called Long Yinyin over. Wang Xian also followed her confidently. Liu Yu, Yinhao, what's wrong with you guys? Long Yinyin saw that both Saintess Liu Yu and Long Yinhao looked very embarrassed. She asked with a little surprise. Sister Yinyin, I'm going to bring Yinhao to look for that group of guys. I want them to give me an explanation and make them pay the price, Saintess Liu Yu said with a frosty face. Upon hearing her words, Long Yinyin looked at her younger brother. I didn't say anything. Long Yinhao shook his head bitterly. Can't I find out myself if you don't say anything? You said you met a magical beast and were killed by it. How is that possible? We have been in and out of the 7th level of the magical beast abyss many times. I'm not a fool. How can I not know anything? What are you hiding? What are you worried about? After all, I have some influence in the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. I'm also the Saintess of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. If someone killed you, we are in the right. Even if there's no evidence, I want them to pay the price. I might not be able to deal with some of them, but I can still make them pay the price, Saintess Liu Yu said with a frosty face and a domineering look. On the other hand, Long Yinhao kept smiling bitterly. He had no choice. Even when Long Yinhao was at his peak, he was no match for his girlfriend. Not to mention her background. Having a domineering girlfriend was painful and happy at the same time. Sister Yinyin, I'll bring Yinhao to the military base. Those guys are all there. I want them to give me an explanation. Saintess Liu Yu looked at Long Yinyin and continued. You and Yinhao can decide on this, Liu Yu. Long Yinyin opened his mouth and said. In fact, Saintess Liu Yu was much older than Long Yinyin. It was only because of her younger brother that she called her sister. Even if she added up their ages, they were still not as old as Saintess Liu Yu. Of course, this age gap of hundreds of millions of years was nothing in the eyes of experts at their level. All right, Yinhao, come with me. Saintess Liu Yu pulled Long Yinhao and said domineeringly. She was going to stand up for her man. Yinhao has found the right girlfriend. Wang Xian commented with a smile as he watched from the side. He had not expected Saintess Liu Yu to be so domineering. She treated Long Yinhao very well. Saintess Liu Yu wanted to bring Long Yinhao to seek an explanation. It would take half a month to reach the magical beast abyss from here. Coincidentally, his actual body would be there by then. Saintess Liu Yu blushed when she heard Wang Xian's compliment. Long Yinhao smiled foolishly. In the face of a domineering girlfriend, he could not resist and could only obey. He could only obey. Chapter 40-24, Go. After learning that Long Yinhao had been ambushed, Liu Yu Saint Maiden didn't stay for long. She immediately led him to find an explanation. Wang Xian and Long Yinyin followed at the side. The experts of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Ground knew of this news, but they did not stop him or follow him. The status of the Liu Yu Saintess was not something that their Roaring Dragon Forbidden Land could compare to. As for Holy Maiden Liu Yu, she was able to become a Holy Maiden in the Flowing Water Forbidden Land because she had a master and elders behind her. Her elder was also a powerhouse from the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. He might even be a peak sovereign realm expert. If Holy Maiden Liu Yu wanted to seek justice for Long Yinhao, she could do it. They couldn't interfere in such matters. The four of them headed toward the magical beast abyss through the teleportation circle. Currently, the first 6 floors of the magical beast abyss had been completely cleared. Not a single magical beast was left. On the 7th floor, the Holy Lands and the Sacred Institute had set up a military base here. The entire 7th floor of the magical beast abyss was to be used as a training ground for the disciples of the powerhouses. In these several 100 million years, the effects were obvious. But now, the magical beasts on the 7th level were basically cleared out. The experts of the Forbidden Grounds, Sacred Grounds, and Sacred Institute were preparing to set up a base on the 8th floor. After half a month of traveling, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at Tianyuan City. They entered the teleportation formation and arrived at the sky above the Devil's Abyss. The moment the 4 of them teleported over, a figure appeared. A young man riding a special one-eyed, single-horned old bull also stepped into the teleportation formation. Apart from being extraordinarily handsome, there was nothing else special about this young man. As for this old bull, it had a single horn and a single eye. It was 3 to 4 meters tall and looked a bit silly and adorable. The young man smiled and disappeared. Naturally, this was Wang Xian's main body that had rushed over. After the breakthrough, Wang Xian kept his strength under control. Unless it was someone at the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan, no one would be able to tell Wang Xian's exact strength. They looked at Wang Xian in bewilderment. They might even mistake him for an expert of the universe supremacy level. As for the Qilin ox, it was also restrained. Few experts could see through this terrifying demonic beast. After all, the strength of a Qilin bull was extremely terrifying. Even a pinnacle space-type universe ruler realm expert was not a match for the Qilin bull. Even the Qilin ox could easily kill it. After a year's journey, he finally arrived. Wang Xian did not merge with his void divine dragon body. Instead, he was waiting to see what would happen next. Since Saintess Liu Yu was willing to stand up for him, Wang Xian would just have to wait. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Furthermore, he could see that Holy Maiden Liu Yu was standing up for Long Yinhao. Look, these guys don't want to live anymore. After entering the teleportation portal, Liu Yu led them straight to the 7th floor of the magical beast abyss. The first 6 levels were very safe, and a fast passage had been opened up. Let's go to the 8th floor. Right now, a large number of experts and disciples from the Forbidden Lands, Holy Lands, and Sacred Academies are building bases on the 8th floor. Let's go there directly. When they arrived at the 7th level of the Devil Beast Abyss, Saintess Liu Yu scanned the surroundings and realized that there weren't many people on the 7th level. Hence, she led Wang Xian and the rest to the 8th level. When he came to the 8th floor through a passageway, he immediately saw a large number of people around him. There were at least millions of experts and disciples. None of them were below the sovereign realm. There were so many sovereign realm experts here. This was related to the cultivation environment of sword and magic art. In addition, according to Wang Xian's conjecture, this was also related to the number of creation realm experts in a universe. In a universe, if there were more experts at the divine essence creation realm, the resources consumed by them would increase as well. Naturally, there would be fewer sovereign realm experts. In the sword and magic universe, there were only 2 creation realm experts. This also resulted in the birth of more sovereign realm experts in the universe. A large number of experts were building a floating city in the sky below them. It could also be called a military base. A large military base. among which, a part of the military base had been built. It only took less than a month to build the army suppressing force. The main reason was that there were too many experts in the construction. Sister Yinyin, Holy Son Wangxian, let's go. They are over there. Liu Yu looked at the communication device in her hand and led them in a direction. Soon, they arrived at a building that had been built in the military base. This was a very spacious building. Standing on it, one could see the 8th level of the magical beast abyss from afar. At this moment, there were a large number of experts and disciples on the building. The young and middle-aged were the majority. There were not many of those from the ancient generation. A group of experts and disciples were chatting loudly over there. These were the elite disciples of the Sacred Grounds and Sacred Institute. Liu Yu locked her gaze on a certain area and a figure. A murderous intent flashed in her eyes. Wang. She moved her palm and a staff appeared in her hand. Liu Yu. Long Yinhao, who was beside her, sensed the murderous intent from Liu Yu and shouted. Yinhao, just watch from the side. Liu Yu Saintess said gently to him. Following which, the staff in her hand emitted a horrifying radiance. Boom. In the next instant, she moved and a horrifying water lotus bloomed. Death Lotus. Saintess Liu Yu's eyes narrowed, and she instantly attacked the Saint Son of the Forbidden Land of Space, Saint Sun Shu-ni. Her first move was a killing move and her strongest attack. Liu Yu was now in the 7th Order Universe Lord Realm. She was not far from the 8th Order Universe Lord Realm. As for Shu-ni, he was only in the 5th Order Universe Lord Realm. In these hundreds of millions of years, he had only risen by one level. The reason was that the cultivation of the space element was too difficult. Secondly, he did not obtain the inheritance from the corpse of the demonic pillar in the universe ruins. If he had obtained this inheritance, he would at least be in the 6th Order Universe Lord Realm. The 7th Order Universe Lord Liu Yu Holy Maiden suddenly attacked with a killing move. This was something that the surrounding experts and disciples did not expect. Even the Shu-ni saint and the experts and disciples around him did not expect such a deadly attack to come at them, and at such a close distance. Who would have thought that the flowing water Forbidden Grounds Holy Maiden would suddenly attack the saint of the Forbidden Ground? One had to know that the innocent Forbidden Grounds and Flowing Water Forbidden Grounds had already announced that they would not allow any forces or experts to fight amongst themselves. When the terrifying energy descended on Saint Shu-ni, everyone around was shocked. They hurriedly looked over. Chapter 40-25. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. No. On the 8th floor of the Devil Beast Abyss, Holy Daughter Liu Yu suddenly attacked. As the Death Lotus bloomed, Saint Sun Shu-ni was instantly engulfed. Saint Sun Shu-ni did not react in time. The surrounding experts did not react in time either. Terrifying energy engulfed him, and he screamed in pain. Then, he lost all signs of life. What? Hiss, this. That's Holy Daughter Liu Yu. What is she doing? She actually killed Saint Sun Shu-ni from the forbidden space. This. She's crazy. Why did she suddenly kill Saint Sun Shu-ni? When the energy suddenly rose up, all the experts and disciples in the surroundings looked over, and their faces were filled with shock. Holy Daughter Liu Yu had killed Saint Sun Shu-ni on the spot. This was crazy. Saint Sun Shu-ni did not even have time to react before he was killed. Everyone was shocked. Saint Sun Shu-ni's corpse lay there quietly. Around the corpse, the experts from the Thoughtful Forbidden Land, the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, the Space Forbidden Land, and the other sacred grounds and academies were all astonished. Holy Daughter Liu Yu, what are you doing? One of the 7th Order Universe Sovereigns from the Forbidden Space Forbidden Ground looked up and locked onto Holy Daughter Liu Yu, his face dark as he roared. Liu Yu, are you crazy? What are you doing? One of the 8th Order Universe Sovereigns from the Flowing Water Forbidden Ground looked at Holy Daughter Liu Yu and roared. Flowing Water, Haolian, Liu Qingming, Shu Jingshan, Shu Fengxue, Qi Jiongping, Qi Xiaohe, get out here. Holy Daughter Liu Yu floated in the air, looking down at the crowd below, her eyes filled with killing intent. Boom. The moment she finished speaking, the staff in her hand gathered another terrifying attack. This time, Her target was the current Saint Son of the Flowing Water Holy Ground, Liu Qingming. Her first attack was still a killing move. The Saint Son of the Flowing Water Forbidden Ground, also the one from the universe ruins, had not received the inheritance of the demonic pillar. She faced a Saint Son from the same sect, and one on the same level as her. She did not hold back at all. Liu Qingming's expression changed drastically when he saw Liu Yu's attack, and he hurriedly dodged to the side with a terrified expression. Liu Yu, do you know what you're doing? At the side, Flowing Water and Haolian looked at this scene with an extremely ugly expression. He waved his arm and put up a strong defense. His strength was at the 8th Order Universe Sovereign Realm. She was a level higher than the Liu Yu Saintess. What? What was Liu Yu trying to do? You killed the Holy Son of the Spatial Forbidden Land right away, and now you want to kill the Holy Son of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land? That's crazy. What's going on with her? How dare you be so unbridled here? It's too terrifying. It's too valiant. It's really a killing move. In the surroundings, all the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Grounds, Sacred Grounds, and Sacred Institute were shocked. This was too crazy. A saint of the same sect directly attacked, wanting to kill him. Not bad, she's very protective of her husband. Don't let her down in the future. Seeing this, Wang Xian smiled and spoke to Long Yinhao, who was beside him. An awkward expression appeared on Long Yinhao's face. Will Liu Yu be in trouble by doing this? He asked worriedly. Don't worry. The reason why Liu Yu Saintess could become the Saintess of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land is not only because of her incredible talent and terrifying strength, but also because of her temperament. Wang Xian said to him. A Saintess of such a huge forbidden land who had lived for 1 billion years, under the intensive training of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, was no ordinary weak girl. Since she had made a move, she must have a trump card. From her attack, one could tell. She did not kill the Holy Son of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land first because she had her reservations. Killing the Holy Son of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land was within her tolerance. Liu Yu Saintess, why did you kill the saint of our forbidden land, Xuan'ai? Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you're the Saintess of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. You have to give us an explanation. The questioning from the experts of the Forbidden Land came from below. Xu Jingshan, I killed Xuan'ai. You should know that I'm not strong enough now. If I were strong enough, I would have killed you. Ph. Liu Yu Haolian, you guys know what you've done. Liu Yu Saintess stared at them and said coldly. What did we do? Liu Yu, speak clearly. Liu Yu Haolian looked at Liu Yu Saintess with an awful expression. Then, he glanced at Long Yinhao, who was beside her. An unfathomable killing intent flashed in his eyes. The surrounding crowd did not sense this killing intent, but Wang Xian caught it. Do you think I don't know that you guys killed Long Yinhao? Liu Yu Saintess stared at Liu Yu Haolian and questioned him coldly. We killed Long Yinhao. Liu Yu, you have to have evidence before you speak. You attacked without any evidence. Liu Qingming bellowed with a pale face. If it weren't for Liu Yu Haolian blocking the attack for him, he would have been killed. Huh? What? Long Yinhao was killed? Look, that's Long Yinhao. Recently, Long Yinhao and Liu Yu Saintess have been very close. After Long Yinhao obtained the inheritance from the universe ruins, he rose rapidly and was hailed as one of the most promising pinnacle sovereigns in the future. He actually fell. His aura is so weak. He must have died once. Everyone was shocked when they heard Liu Yu Saintess' word. Long Yinhao was considered one of the top experts of his generation in the sword and magic universe. After obtaining the inheritance from the universe ruins, he rose rapidly. His terrifying speed of breakthrough and his relationship with Liu Yu Saintess had made him the focus of his generation. Looking at his frail body, he must have died once. Wong wong wong, wong wong wong. At this moment, the surrounding space fluctuated slightly. One by one, powerful figures appeared in the surroundings. 5 or 6 experts with the space attribute appeared in the surroundings. 6 old men, each with an aura no weaker than a 9th Order Universe Lord. 5 spatial experts at the 8th Order Universe Ruler Realm. A 9th Order Universe Ruler Realm spatial expert. This Ninth Order Universe Lord was equivalent to a pinnacle Universe Lord of other attribute. When they arrived, their expressions were not good. Their gazes were locked onto Liu Yu Saintus. Liu Yu Saintus, you killed the Saint Son of our Space Forbidden Zone. You have to give us an explanation. Otherwise, even if you are the Flowing Water Saintus, we will still offend you. In the middle, the Ninth Order Universe Ruler Realm Space Expert spoke up. Chapter 4026. The 6 experts of the Forbidden Space Zone locked their eyes on Liu Yu, their eyes filled with coldness. The Flowing Water Forbidden Zone's Holy Maiden had killed their Holy Son. Although they didn't dare kill her directly, they still needed an explanation. However, it was still necessary for him to give an explanation. If Holy Maiden Liu Yu couldn't do so, she would also be punished. She would be punished by the rules. After all, the Spatial Forbidden Zone was the third most powerful faction on the continent. Apart from Divine Origin Creation Realm experts, the Spatial Forbidden Zone's top-notch combat power was still terrifying. Since I dared to make a move, I naturally had my reasons. Yinhao's death is related to Holy Son Shu Ni, Shu Jingshan, Shu Fengxue, Qi Zhongping, and Qi Xiaohe. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the Flowing Water Forbidden Zone and the Innocence Forbidden Zone issued an order forbidding all disciples on the continent from killing each other. Disciples of the Spatial Forbidden Zone have violated the rules, and they must pay the price. Holy Son Shu Ni isn't the only one. Holy Maiden Liu Yu looked at the experts from the Spatial Forbidden Zone and spoke coldly, unafraid. Her domineering words made the 6 experts in the Forbidden Space frown slightly. They looked to the side at Shu Jingshan, Shu Fengxue, and the others with questioning expressions. Shu Jingshan and the others also frowned slightly and looked at Haolian Liu Yu. They hadn't expected Holy Maiden Liu Yu to be so domineering. She'd come right over and killed Holy Son Shu Ni. This shocked them to the core. This situation wasn't something they could resolve. However, they weren't worried. Liu Yu, if you say we killed Long Yinhao, then show us the evidence. If you don't have any, then don't frame us. Haolian Liu Yu looked at Holy Maiden Liu Yu with an embarrassed expression. He glanced at Long Yinhao, who was standing to the side. Haolian Liu Yu, our Flowing Water Forbidden Zone has a heart-questioning technique. As long as our seniors use it, it'll be clear whether you did anything or were framed. Holy Maiden Liu Yu looked at him and smiled coldly. She looked around, and her aura shot into the sky. Seniors of the Flowing Water Forbidden Zone, please come out and uphold justice. Our Divine Origin Creation Realm experts have issued an order. If anyone dares to violate it, then they must pay the price. Holy Maiden Liu Yu shouted loudly, her voice echoing throughout the entire garrison area. Liu Yu, are you sure you want to fall out with me? When Liu Liushui heard her words, his expression changed drastically as he glared at her. Holy Maiden Liu Yu did not speak. She floated quietly in the air. Hiss. Holy Daughter Liu Yu is so powerful. She wants the experts of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land to come and uphold justice and denounce us for our crimes. What a domineering woman. For the sake of her sweetheart, she actually wants to condemn Flowing Water, Haolian, and the other experts of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. She's really amazing. Very domineering, as expected of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's Holy Maiden, the woman who has a 100% chance of stepping into the sovereign realm in the future, the pillar of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land in the future. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings were shocked when they saw this scene. She was truly a peerless beauty of her generation, Liu Yu Saintus. Ha ha ha, good, good. I admire the Liu Yu Saintus very much. Whether it's right or wrong, we'll know after investigating. Not far away, the virgin barbarian saint flew over and laughed heartily. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings were attracted by the commotion. It could be said that all the experts and disciples of the Sacred Institute and Holy Land of the Sword and Magic Universe were gathered here. Buzz, 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 buzz. At this time, streams of water appeared out of thin air in the surroundings. One by one, the experts of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land slowly appeared. 3 experts in the Peak Sovereign Realm. More than a dozen Ninth Order sovereigns. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It wasn't just the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. Peak Sovereign Realm experts from the Virgin Barbarian Forbidden Land were also flying over. Granny Yuan, Grand Elder, Second Elder, Holy Maiden Liu Yu immediately bowed when she saw the figures that had appeared. "Ien, we already know what happened to you." An old woman with a walking stick in the middle looked at Holy Maiden Liu Yu and nodded. "Little Yu, I'll handle this matter." "Yes, Granny Yuan." Holy Maiden Liu Yu nodded when she heard this. The matter had become so big that it was no longer something she could make a decision on. Moreover, before she made her move, she had told the seniors of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land some things. This time, she could kill Holy Sun Shu Ni. However, she couldn't kill everyone. The main reason was because of Flowing Water Haolian. First, he was the grandson of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's master, and the master of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land would protect his grandson. Second, the Spatial Forbidden Land. The strength of the Spatial Forbidden Land was not weak. They needed to think twice before directly killing a few of their elite core disciples. Of course, the main reason was still Flowing Water Haolian. The Flowing Water Forbidden Land dared to kill those who broke the rules. However, if they wanted to kill, they had to kill everyone, including Flowing Water Haolian. Otherwise, the Spatial Forbidden Land would not accept it. If they didn't kill them all, they couldn't kill them all. This matter will be decided fairly. Long Yinhao originally had a high chance of reaching the Peak Sovereign Realm. Now that he has fallen, it is a loss to our sword and magic universe. In view of your talent and temperament, the Flowing Water Forbidden Land is prepared to accept you as a disciple. We will do our best to restore your strength and stabilize your Peak Sovereign Realm. Granny Yuan of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land looked at Long Yinhao and said, "Huh." Long Yinhao was slightly taken aback, and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. He didn't understand what was going on. "Hee, don't worry. You will still be a disciple of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Land. It's just that you are also a disciple of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land. We all know about your relationship with Liu Yu, and we won't object. In the future, I will prepare all the resources you need to recover. You will enjoy the cultivation resources that are higher than all the disciples of other experts." Granny Yuan saw Long Yinhao's astonished expression and continued with a smile. "Thank you, Granny Yuan." Long Yinhao opened his mouth and looked at Holy Maiden Liu Yu, who was beside him, and immediately thanked Granny Yuan. "We will continue to investigate the other matters. You naturally have to pay the price for violating the rules." At this time, the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's Grand Elder spoke up, and his gaze swept around. "Let's forget about this matter." As he spoke, his gaze turned to the experts of the Spatial Forbidden Land. "All right, then let's listen to Grand Elder and forget about this matter." The experts of the Spatial Forbidden Land saw this, looked at each other, and nodded. Although the Liu Yu Holy Maiden had killed the saint of their forbidden space zone, they understood the current situation. Ending it like this was the best choice at the moment. Wang Xian saw this scene and raised his eyebrows slightly. "Forget it." Chapter 4027, Let It Go Just Like That. Wang Xian glanced at Liu Yu Saintus and understood. This should be the limit of what Liu Yu Saintus could do. Kill a Saint Shu Ni. Reap some benefits for Long Yinhao. This was indeed a good choice. It was already very good to be able to do this. After all, she had offended Liu Yu Haolian. She had even offended some of the masters of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. Of course, no one knew if the masters of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area took this matter to heart. If they took it to heart, it would be terrifying for Liu Yu Saintus to plot against them in the future. Are there any more questions? If there are no more questions, please disperse. The Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area looked around and fixed his eyes on Long Yinhao. No problem. Long Yinhao felt the gaze of the Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area and responded immediately. The Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area should be closer to the Master of the Flowing Water Forbidden Area and more protective of Liu Yu Haolian. Granny Yuan should be closer to Liu Yu Saintus. Wang Xian thought to himself when he saw this scene. He squinted his eyes slightly. If Long Yinhao was just the saint of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Area, this would indeed be a very good result. But Long Yinhao was not just the saint of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Area. He was also Wang Xian's brother-in-law. Something's wrong. As soon as Long Yinhao finished his sentence, Wang Xian made a move and flew forward a little. He glanced at Liu Yu Haolian. At this moment, Liu Yu Haolian was staring at Long Yinhao with hatred and coldness. Perhaps, if there was a chance, he would attack Long Yinhao again. If he attacked again, he might not purposely show up to taunt like the last time. The sudden appearance of Wang Xian and his sudden words stunned everyone. Even the great elder of the flowing water forbidden area, Liu Yu Saintus, and Long Yinyin looked at Wang Xian with astonishment. Brother Wang Xian. Long Yinin's expression changed drastically. He quickly flew to his side and transmitted a message to her. Forget about this matter. It has been resolved very well. It's okay. Don't say anything. Leave the rest to me. I still have some things to settle here. Wang Xian shook his head at him and swept his gaze across everyone. The creation realm cultivators of the omniscient Forbidden Land and the flowing water Forbidden Land have decreed that anyone who breaks the rules must pay the price in blood. Long Yinhao's matter cannot be let off so easily. In addition, I also have some matters that I need the help of the forbidden space. As he spoke, his gaze finally fell on the group of experts from the forbidden space. Hiss. What? What's going on? I wonder why Saint Wang Xian suddenly opened his mouth. What did he want to do? Does he know what he's doing? This Saint Wang Xian hasn't appeared for hundreds of millions of years. How dare he openly refute the experts of the flowing water Forbidden Land? Also, he has some matters that he needs the experts of the space Forbidden Land to settle. When the surrounding experts and disciples saw Wang Xian suddenly flying out, their faces were filled with shock and astonishment. The eyes of the barbarian saint and the rest also fell on Wang Xian. Hundreds of millions of years ago, Wang Xian could be said to be a dark horse that appeared out of nowhere and suppressed all the saints and saintesses. He was the strongest expert of the same generation. This was something that was publicly acknowledged. However, he suddenly disappeared for hundreds of millions of years and hadn't appeared since. Today was the first time he suddenly appeared. Let the forbidden space Forbidden Land settle this. When the experts of the space Forbidden Land heard Wang Xian, they narrowed their eyes and revealed a cold expression. They might have some reservations about Saintess Liu Yu, but they wouldn't have any reservations about Wang Xian. They were the third forbidden space Forbidden Land in the sword and sorcery universe. Wang Xian looked at them and smiled. With a wave of his arm, a ball appeared in his hand. In the ball, there were 8 figures. These 8 figures were the people from Mount Wu Hongshan who had attacked Wang Xian previously. The previous generation's saint and the rest of the experts of the space Forbidden Land. They had been imprisoned by Wang Xian for more than 400 million years. In the space of this small ball, they had suffered excruciating torment. Elder, save us. Save us. Elder, save us. Save us. When they appeared, they immediately sensed the situation outside. When they saw the experts of the space Forbidden Land, a glimmer of hope appeared on their faces as they shouted with all their might. After being imprisoned here for more than 400 million years, time and pain had almost driven them to the brink of collapse. They cried for help loudly and looked extremely miserable. Mount Wu Hongshan. The 6 experts of the space Forbidden Land and the surrounding experts of the space Forbidden Land were shocked when they saw the 8 of them. The leader of the experts from the space Forbidden Land had a cold look in his eyes. He waved his arm and a terrifying force of space shrouded them. Wang Xian looked on and didn't feel anything. 400 million years ago, they attacked me. They wanted to kill me. I didn't kill them because I knew they could be resurrected. Since they wanted to kill me, they naturally had to pay the price with their lives. It wasn't just a simple resurrection. I guess so. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved his arm and the scene of them attacking 400 million years ago appeared. Do they have to pay the price for breaking the rules? Don't you want the experts of the space Forbidden Land to give us an explanation? Wang Xian looked at them and continued speaking plainly. Damn, there's such a thing. More than 400 million years ago, the experts of the space Forbidden Land attacked Saint Wang Xian? The saint of the space Forbidden Land, Wu Hongshan, is a 7th-order sovereign. To think that he was imprisoned by Saint Wang Xian for more than 400 million years. This Saint Wang Xian must have some powerful defensive treasures on him. This Saint Wang Xian was able to trap Wu Hongshan and the rest 400 million years ago. What kind of trump card does he have? This Saint Wang Xian is the most mysterious and no one knows his background. When the surrounding experts and disciples heard Wang Xian's words and saw the scene on the screen, they were shocked. All of them were discussing softly, Elder, we didn't attack him. We didn't want to kill him. He trapped us for more than 400 million years and wanted to kill us. At this time, Wu Hongshan's furious voice sounded from the front. He was in a miserable state as he shouted at the experts of the space-forbidden land. Outrageous! How dare you imprison the experts of our space-forbidden land? You must be courting death. The Ninth Order sovereign expert in the center of the space-forbidden land roared at Wang Xian with a cold face. He was filled with killing intent. Chapter 4028, Outrageous. How dare you imprison the experts of our forbidden land? You're courting death. The experts of the forbidden land shouted with murderous intent. They stared at Wang Xian with cold eyes. Their eyes were bloodshot. This Wang Xian actually dared to openly challenge their forbidden space zone. Did he really think he was the Liu Yu Saintus? Did they really think that their forbidden space could be questioned by just anyone? Hee. Wang Xian looked at them and felt the aura from them. His face was filled with disdain and coldness. He licked his lips and stared at them. Seems like you guys aren't going to give me an explanation. This. Beside him, Liu Yu Saintus looked at Wang Xian with narrowed eyes. She glanced at Long Yinhao and saw his worried expression. Then, she stared at the experts of the Forbidden Land. Hee, so the Forbidden Land is a habitual offender. Your disciples not only attacked Long Yinhao but also Wang Xian. Do you really think you can kill whoever you want? Liu Yu Saintus said coldly. She looked at the seniors of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land and said, Great Elder, Second Elder, please investigate this matter. Killing the future experts of our sword and sorcery universe is unforgivable. It's hard to judge what happened 400 million years ago. At that time, our sword and sorcery universe didn't have a rule forbidding killing. This rule was only issued 200 million years ago. Liu Yu Saintus, you really like to meddle in other people's business. Before the two elders could say anything, Liu Yu Saintus stood there and spoke coldly. No matter when it happened, the actions of the experts of the Forbidden Land. All right, Liu Yu Saintus wanted to say something but was stopped by Granny Yuan. She shook her head at her. Don't offend the Forbidden Land. They aren't weak. Although they aren't as strong as us, they still have many expert. Don't get involved in this matter. Granny Yuan transmitted her voice to Liu Yu Saintus. Liu Yu Saintus had already offended the Flowing Water Forbidden Land today. However, she had her own reasons for doing so. The Forbidden Land wouldn't take it to heart. But things were different now. If Liu Yu Saintus continued to interfere, the experts of the Forbidden Land might bear a grudge against her. Once a famous spear was dodged, it was hard to defend against a hidden arrow. There was nothing he could do if he was tricked in the future. Therefore, he could not participate in this matter. You're Saint Wang Xian, right? Let's forget about this matter. Forget about the people in the forbidden space as well, said Granny Yuan to Wang Xian and the experts from the Forbidden Land of Space. He wanted to resolve this matter. This matter isn't so easy to settle. The spatial restricted zone must give me an explanation. Also, the matter of Long Yinhao must be explained. Today, I want a perfect solution for all of this. Upon hearing Granny Yuan's words, Wang Xian shook his head impassively without any change in his expression. He said, Haha, this is the biggest joke in the world. You want our forbidden space to give you an explanation? Who do you think you are? Brat, there's a rule now that you can't act. However, you dared to provoke our forbidden space zone. Even if there are rules, you still have to die. You dared to question our forbidden space zone. Who gave you the courage? Who gave you this background? One of the Eighth Order Universe sovereigns from the Forbidden Space Zone laughed maniacally as he stared coldly at Wang Xian. The aura from his body rose gradually as he stared at Wang Xian. Everyone in the surroundings froze when they saw this scene. What is this Saint Wang Xian trying to do? He doesn't seem to know what's going on. More than 400 million years ago, the experts from the Forbidden Space Zone attacked him. This is indeed a little hard to say. After all, the obscene forbidden space and the flowing water forbidden space did not issue a ban on killing 400 million years ago. If Wang Xian really provokes the Forbidden Space Zone now, the experts from the Forbidden Space Zone might really take action. The Forbidden Space Zone is ranked third in our sword and sorcery universe after all. Liu Yu, the saintess, killed one of their saints. The Forbidden Space Zone won't say anything because she has a strong background. But if Wang Xian wants an explanation from the Forbidden Space Zone, it's a different story. The experts from the Forbidden Space Zone are a little infuriated. Without the intervention of the obscene forbidden space and the flowing water forbidden space, I'm afraid it won't end peacefully. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings discussed softly when they saw this scene. They were amazed by Wang Xian's boldness. But he was facing the Forbidden Space Zone after all. Saint Wang Xian, this matter is indeed hard to resolve. You'd better back off quickly. The unbarbarian saint of the obscene forbidden space frowned when he saw this scene. He sent a voice transmission to Wang Xian to remind him. In that case, if the Forbidden Space Zone doesn't give me a solution, I'll have to settle it myself. Wang Xian stood there, unmoved by the voices around him. His face revealed a cold expression as he spoke indifferently. Holy Son Wang Xian, you're courting death. Everyone says that you have a mysterious background. Today, let's see what kind of background you have. How dare you be so insolent and arrogant? How dare you provoke our Forbidden Space Zone? If you can't give us an explanation today, I'll kill you myself. The experts from the Forbidden Space Zone, Shu Jingshan, stared coldly at Wang Xian. A powerful aura was released from his body. The strength of a seventh-order universe sovereign had completely sealed off Wang Xian. He was ready to strike at any time. The eyes of the experts and disciples in the surroundings flickered when they saw this scene. You guys settle this matter yourselves. The flowing water forbidden space will not interfere. The great elder of the flowing water forbidden space said coldly when he saw this scene. His gaze swept across the experts from the Forbidden Space Zone. His meaning was clear. You guys can settle it yourselves. Even if you have to kill someone, it doesn't matter. My background? I don't have any background. My background is me. Wang Xian smiled faintly when he heard Shu Jingshan's words. Swish swish swish. Swish swish swish. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Dragon King. At this moment, a terrifying sword radiance suddenly appeared at the side. The sword aura soared into the sky, exuding a terrifying sword aura. Every single one of them had the aura of a fifth-order universe sovereign. The leader, Roving Sword, had already reached the seventh-order universe sovereign realm. There were tens of thousands of these figures. They were glowing in golden light as they flew towards Wang Xian. Other than them, there were 10 black dragons at the front. An eighth-order universe sovereign realm demonic dragon. Chapter 4029. Tens of thousands of figures flew towards Wang Xian. The aura of the soaring sword aura, each and every one of those sharp sword gleams. All the experts and disciples of the sacred grounds, forbidden grounds, and sacred institute were filled with shock. This is. So many experts in the sovereign realm. The weakest is a fifth-order sovereign. Look at the energy in their bodies. Their combat strength is terrifying. What a terrifying sword radiance. What sword technique is this? Each and every one of them is like an incomparably sharp sword. SSS. What's going on? What's going on? Dragon King? Why did these tens of thousands of experts address Saint Wang Xian as the Dragon King? King. This group of experts is from the Void Dragon Sacred Ground. At the front is the Saint of the Void Dragon Forbidden Ground. Their aura is so strong and sharp. Why did he address Wang Xian as Dragon King? What's their relationship with Wang Xian? Wang Xian, the Saint, is extremely mysterious. The Void Dragon Forbidden Ground is also very mysterious. All this while, no forces have found out about their background. They really have a deep relationship. Is the void dragon forbidden ground going against the space forbidden ground? Wang Xian, the saint, said that his background is himself. In the surrounding area, everyone saw Roving Sword and the group of experts suddenly flying over. Their faces were filled with shock. The void dragon forbidden ground was a mysterious forbidden ground that suddenly appeared hundreds of millions of years ago. It occupied the territory of the lunar void forbidden ground. At that time, the void dragon forbidden ground did not attract the attention of the powerful sacred grounds and sacred institute. However, the saint of the void dragon forbidden ground emerged like a dark horse in the rankings of the outstanding talents. The void dragon forbidden ground entered everyone's sights. This void dragon forbidden ground made all the forces and experts feel a little mysterious. Because no forces had found out about their background. Where did they come from? How strong were they? Wang Xian, the saint, was also extremely mysterious. Even the thoughtful forbidden ground and the flowing water forbidden ground had checked on Wang Xian's information. However, they did not find anything. This saint, Wang Xian, seemed to have appeared out of thin air. He was as mysterious as the void dragon forbidden ground. Now, the group of experts from the void dragon saint, a group of soaring sword aura experts, addressed Wang Xian as Dragon King. Everyone could hear this form of address. Not simple. Haha, the void dragon forbidden land, are you taking the initiative to provoke the spatial forbidden land? If you take the initiative to seek your own destruction, don't blame us for not intervening. The great elder of the flowing water forbidden land swept his gaze across Roving Sword and the others, his expression unwavering. Even though the strength displayed by the void dragon forbidden ground was strong, and there were many fifth-order universe sovereigns and above, the strongest was only in the eighth-order universe sovereign realm. He didn't care about this strength at all. So what if there was a peak cosmos sovereign realm expert in the void dragon forbidden land? How dare this holy son Wang Xian say there was a problem just now? The flowing water forbidden land had already decided on this matter, yet he still dared to say that there was a problem. He was simply courting death. Therefore, he did not plan to intervene in the matters of the void dragon forbidden land and the space forbidden land. And the strength of the forbidden space zone was very terrifying. A peak universe ruler realm expert. The taboo lord of the forbidden space was the strongest person below the creation realm. With such strength, how dare this saint of the void dragon forbidden ground, Wang Xian, provoke him? He was simply courting death. I'll make sure you give me an explanation for the matter here. Wang Xian said coldly upon hearing the words of the great elder of the flowing water forbidden land. SSS, this holy son Wang Xian? Damn. Did he say that to the great elder of the flowing water forbidden land? Isn't this holy son Wang Xian a little too arrogant? How dare he say such words to the great elder of the flowing water forbidden land? This. Is he courting death? When the surrounding people heard Wang Xian's words, their faces were filled with astonishment. Ha ha ha, courting death, courting death. This is your background. A small void dragon forbidden land and you dare to provoke our space forbidden land with just these few experts. Fine, I'll slaughter all of you today and let you know the consequences of offending our space forbidden land. The ninth order universe sovereign realm expert leading the space forbidden land laughed maniacally. As he spoke, a terrifying space domain instantly expanded towards the surroundings. In an instant, Wang Xian and the others were surrounded. In the surroundings of this space, terrifying cracks formed one after another. Once he launched an attack, everyone in this space would suffer a terrifying attack. An attack comparable to a pinnacle sovereign realm expert. Big brother Wang Xian, Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao, who were beside Wang Xian, saw this scene. Their faces were filled with worry. All the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Lands, Sacred Grounds, and Sacred Institute saw this scene with flickering eyes. This holy son Wang Xian's background is this void dragon forbidden land? Is it himself? If that's the case, isn't he courting death? When Wang Xian heard the exclamations of Long Yinyan and Long Yinhao, he turned around with a smile and smiled at them. To tell them not to worry. Hehe, yes, this is my background. My background is me. At this time, a figure riding a one-horned, one-eyed, bull-like magical beast appeared out of thin air. The figure sat on the magical beast with a smile on his face. Wang Xian's real body had arrived. Huh? How did he appear? This. Who is he? Why does he look exactly like that holy son Wang Xian? This person? Wang Xian appeared out of thin air without the slightest fluctuation. His sudden words made all the surrounding experts and disciples look over. Their eyes narrowed and their faces were filled with shock. His appearance was exactly the same as holy son Wang Xian. Who is he? What's going on? In the flowing water forbidden land, Granny Yuan's face changed slightly when she saw Wang Xian appear out of thin air. Wang Xian was only a few thousand meters away from them. This distance was too close for them. But at such a close distance, they did not see how Wang Xian appeared. This made him very shocked. Under his energy detection, he could not sense Wang Xian's strength. Even the magical beast he was sitting on could not sense his strength. This. Long Yinyin looked at Wang Xian and then at the other Wang Xian. Her mouth was slightly agape and her face was filled with shock. She could not tell. Since the forbidden space forbidden land cannot give me a satisfactory answer, then I can only do something that satisfies me. Wang Xian looked at the group of experts in the forbidden space forbidden land. I'll wipe you all out. Finally, he spat out 5 words slowly. Chapter 40-30, Annihilate all of you. As soon as Wang Xian finished his sentence, everyone was stunned. When everyone heard this sentence, all the experts from the hallowed grounds and forbidden grounds were slightly stunned when they heard this, and their faces were filled with astonishment and shock. This. Did I hear wrongly? What did he say? Annihilate the entire forbidden space? Hiss. This. Where did Wang Xian get his courage and confidence from? Isn't this too arrogant? I don't know. Is he crazy? Annihilate the entire forbidden space? Without a heavenly Yuan creation realm expert, which force dares to say they can annihilate the entire forbidden space? Without a heavenly Yuan creation realm expert, not even thoughtful forbidden ground and flowing water forbidden ground can annihilate the entire forbidden space. All the experts and disciples around him opened their mouths wide when they heard this. Their faces were filled with shock. The group of experts and disciples in the forbidden space zone were also slightly taken aback when they heard this. Ha ha ha, annihilate the entire forbidden space? Ha ha ha, this is the funniest joke I've heard since I was born. Ha ha ha, are you trying to kill me? At the side, the saint of the forbidden voidland, Shu Jingshan, laughed maniacally. He seemed to have heard the funniest joke in the world. He, Shu Jingshan, was an expert from the forbidden space. His seniors were all top-notch experts. In fact, his great-grandfather was an expert at the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm. One of the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm experts of the forbidden space. In the entire universe of swords and sorcery, there were only 2 people who dared to say they could annihilate the entire forbidden space. Only those 2 existences. The others were not qualified to be compared to the forbidden space. And now, someone said he wanted to annihilate the entire forbidden space. To him, this was the funniest joke in the world. Hee hee. The rest of the experts and disciples from the forbidden space also sneered coldly. Hee hee, is what my boss said funny? At this moment, Qilin Bull heard Shu Jingshan's words and looked at him with his single eye. He sneered and asked, "If you want to die of laughter, then die of laughter." As Qilin Bull spoke, his single eye flashed. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The next moment, Shu Jingshan opened his mouth and laughed maniacally. However, to everyone's horror, as he laughed, his body began to collapse bit by bit. Although he was laughing heartily, his eyes and his face were filled with fear and despair. His body trembled violently. That magical beast is actually speaking? Look, God void shock. His body is collapsing. What happened to him? Hiss. The Qilin Bull suddenly spoke. Shu Jingshan suddenly laughed maniacally as his body started to collapse. This horrifying scene caused everyone to reveal a horrified expression. Magical beasts could actually speak. Without anyone noticing, Shu Jingshan's body suddenly started to crumble. What? Courting death. Kill them. When the experts in the forbidden space saw this scene, their expressions changed drastically. The leading rank 9 universe ruler expert waved his arm. The space domain that had just been condensed directly attacked the Chilean bull. Reckless fool. The Chilean bull looked over and saw that the scales on its body were flashing with special runes. The symbols disappeared one by one. None of the experts and disciples present saw how the symbols disappeared. Even the surrounding pinnacle universe ruler experts. The Chilean bull's strength was equivalent to Wang Xian before he broke through. Back then, Wang Xian was an expert at the universe sovereign realm, and he could easily kill him instantly. The Chilean bull could naturally kill spatial attribute rank 9 universe rulers. RRR. RRR. In an instant, the bodies of the 6 rank 8 and rank 9 universe rulers also started to crumble. Their faces were filled with fear and the intense pain caused them to scream in agony. No, no, no. How is this possible? The leader of the group of Ninth Order sovereigns stared at the Chilean bull with a look of disbelief on his face. That magical beast's body was shining with light, and they could feel an extremely violent and irresistible force entering their bodies, tearing their bodies apart. How was this possible? What kind of existence was this magical beast? How dare you yell at my boss? Today, my boss says that he will destroy your forbidden space. In the entire universe of swords and sorcery, no one can protect you. The Chilean bull stared at them and said disdainfully, Wang. The energy on his body trembled slightly and the life force of the 6 forbidden space experts gradually dissipated. Their bodies crumbled and their flesh and blood disintegrated. Wang Xian flew down from the Chilean bull and waved his arm in front of him. He wanted to test out his current strength. His current strength. Netherworld Dragon Pursuit. With a thought, Wang Xian used a skill. Netherworld Dragon Pursuit was a skill that pursued and attacked. This skill could be said to be the upgraded version of the No Beginning Sacred Wings. After killing an expert, if the other party could revive, then all he had to do was to leave the power of wind and lightning on the other party. Then he could use Netherworld Dragon Pursuit. He would immediately open up a void passage and instantly arrive at the place of revival. This skill was a little useless and Wang Xian had never used it before, because if he wanted to pursue the other party, he would have to enter the other party's nest. This was extremely dangerous for him. But now that his strength had increased, he had no qualms about pursuing the other party's nest to the forbidden space. The experts of the forbidden space wanted to kill him. Moreover, he had killed Long Yinhao. Since they did not give him a satisfactory answer, then, perish. The life force of the 6 experts of the forbidden space and Shu Jingshan disappeared rapidly. Among them, Wang Xian could clearly sense that 3 of them had the means to revive. Rumble. He grabbed forward with his arm and a black hole gradually formed in front of him. The black hole was a few thousand meters wide. Through this black hole, he could vaguely see the situation inside. That was the place where the experts of the forbidden space resurrected. That was the nest of the forbidden space. From here, Wang Xian could instantly reach the forbidden space. Boss, that's the nest of the forbidden space? Chilean bull asked as he looked at the black hole. He was also shocked by Wang Xian's means. Yes, the place where the experts of the forbidden space resurrected. Wang Xian said plainly. Boss, leave it to me. It's just a small forbidden space. You don't have to do anything. I, old bull, can annihilate them. Chilean bull looked at the black hole and said loudly. With a loud roar, his body instantly grew to a size of a few thousand meters and dived into the black hole. Chapter 4031. Alright. Wang Xian nodded as he saw Chilean heading over to destroy the forbidden space zone. With a wave of his arm, the Tai Chi dragon plate and 5 elements great grindstone landed on him. Wang Xian's doppelgangers were in the 5 elements great grindstone and Tai Chi dragon plate. He could also see the situation over there. If Chilean couldn't win, he would strike again. However, with the 5 elements great grindstone and Tai Chi dragon plate, it shouldn't be a problem for Chilean to destroy the forbidden space zone. Ha ha ha, boss, leave it to me. The Chilean bull laughed heartily and with a flash, it flew into the black hole. Forbidden space zone, your doomsday is here. Die. Chilean roared as he entered the black hole. A terrifying aura enveloped the entire forbidden space zone. The overwhelming aura of the demonic beast enveloped the entire lair of the forbidden space zone. On their side, they could also hear his berserk roar. Wang Xian smiled faintly as he supported the black hole passage with his energy. He looked on expressionlessly. A strong enemy is invading. Oh no, what level is this demonic beast? All experts of the forbidden space zone, get ready. Shout for the Lord of the forbidden space zone to beat us up. Shout for our Laozu. The shocked and furious roars of the experts of the forbidden space zone rang out from within the black hole. SSS. This. At this moment, all the experts and disciples of the Sacred Institute and Forbidden Grounds were dumbfounded. Their faces were filled with shock and horror. All of them were in disbelief, especially when they looked at the position of the black hole. All the experts couldn't help but tremble. This place was very far from the lair of the forbidden space zone. And then, that holy son Wang Xian, Wang Xian, who was known as the Dragon King, had opened a passageway. What shocked them the most was the demonic beast that could speak human language just now. They couldn't tell how it did it, but it killed all the experts of the forbidden space zone instantly. One had to know that there were ninth-order sovereigns among them. This ninth-order universe sovereign expert was comparable to the Great Elder, Second Elder, and Granny Yuan of the Forbidden Water Zone. Such a terrifying expert was instantly killed by that demonic beast. What level of existence was that magical beast? Even if it wasn't a heavenly origin creation realm magical beast, it wasn't something a peak sovereign realm expert could compare to. In fact, it might even destroy the forbidden space zone. In that case, such a terrifying existence was merely the mount of the Dragon King, the saint of Wang Xian. In that case, what kind of existence was this person? A terrifying thought suddenly appeared in their mind. Impossible. It couldn't be an existence above the ruler level, could it? Could it be the heavenly origin fortune? This. The flowing water forbidden area. Granny Yuan, the Great Elder, and the Second Elder of the flowing water forbidden land. Even the sovereign realm experts who had rushed over from the other forbidden lands, holy grounds, and sacred academy were dumbfounded when they saw this scene. The Chilean bull's strength was so powerful that it made them feel terrified and aghast. Even though that devil beast's strength hasn't reached the heavenly origin fortune realm, its battle prowess is more than enough to kill a peak sovereign realm expert. A peak sovereign realm expert from the thoughtful forbidden land muttered in shock. He looked at Wang Xian, who was floating in the air. Dumbfounded, completely dumbfounded. What kind of existence was this? Since when did such a terrifying expert appear in the universe of swords and sorcery? Such a horrifying expert. Was he the heavenly origin fortune realm? He felt that there was at least a 50% chance, because if he wasn't the heavenly origin fortune realm, how could he have made such a terrifying devil beast his mount? Shocking. Shocking. At this time, Flowing Water Haolian, Liu Qingming, and several other experts and disciples of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, even Xu Fengxue, Qi Zhongping, Qi Xiaohe, and all the experts from the forbidden space were dumbfounded. All of them had participated in the killing of Long Yinhao. At this moment, they were in a daze, especially the experts and disciples of the surrounding forbidden land. In the surrounding area, there were still several thousand experts and disciples from the forbidden space zone. Just now, the Chilean bull had only killed a few of them. Many experts and disciples of the forbidden land were still gathered in the surroundings. In the end, that terrifying devil beast was already charging towards their lair in the forbidden land. It was going to destroy their forbidden land. As for the young figure in front, his strength was even more unfathomable. In fact, he seemed to be an existence of that realm. This. Damn, brother-in-law, you. Long Yinhao stood there in a daze, his eyes wide open. At this moment, he was in a trance and similarly couldn't believe it. This brother-in-law of his. What kind of existence was this? Big brother Wang Xian, which one is you? Long Yinyan couldn't help but ask again, his small face also filled with shock. Both are me, there's no difference. Wang Xian looked at Long Yinyan and said with a smile. The body of the void divine dragon at the side gradually disappeared. Brother-in-law, big brother Wang Xian, is that your doppelganger? Your doppelganger? Long Yinhao asked in a daze. I guess so. Because of an accidental opportunity, I obtained a doppelganger and ordered it to cultivate the attributes. In essence, there's no difference. Wang Xian smiled and answered again. Then, big brother, are you the existence of heavenly origin fortune realm? Long Yinhao's eyes widened as he continued to ask. His question made the hearts of the surrounding people tighten as they stared at him. They looked at Wang Xian with some trepidation, waiting for his answer, especially the great elder of the flowing water forbidden area and the others, who clenched their fists tightly. Whether he was the heavenly origin fortune realm or not was very important to them, because the signal that Wang Xian had just expressed. It wasn't friendly to them, and the actions that they had shown just now had also provoked this existence. I haven't reached the realm yet. Wang Xian didn't hide and answered directly. His words made many people in the field heave a sigh of relief. But the next sentence made everyone's eyes widen. In terms of combat strength, I can only be sure after I clash with the heavenly origin fortune realm. This was Wang Xian's second sentence. Yes, next, he was going to clash with the heavenly origin fortune realm. The heavenly origin fortune realm experts of the sword and sorcery universe would also definitely clash with Wang Xian, because next, after Wang Xian dealt with the forbidden space forbidden area, he was going to deal with the flowing water forbidden area. Some experts of the flowing water forbidden area had to die. This, big brother, brother-in-law, I'll be your brother-in-law from now on. You'll be my biggest thigh in the future. When Long Yinhao heard this, he roared with excitement. Chapter 4032. This, in the surroundings, all the experts from the sacred grounds and the sacred institute were listening to their conversation. Looking at this scene, their faces were filled with shock. In fact, many experts couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva as they watched with their mouths agape. Who the hell was this person? This lord said that we'll know after clashing with the Sky Yuan and Creation Realm experts. What does he mean by that? I don't know. What kind of existence is he? Why didn't our sword and sorcery universe have such a character in the past? That Wang Xian saint seems to be just his doppelganger. No wonder he's so terrifying. However, why did he allow his doppelganger to cultivate the power of space? How did he do it? Look at the black hole. There's a huge battle going on there. All the experts and disciples were discussing through voice transmissions. Their faces were filled with shock. At this time, they looked at the black hole. From the black hole, they could vaguely see the situation in the forbidden space. There, a huge battle had already broken out. They could see a horrifying demonic beast wreaking havoc in the forbidden space. The demonic beast was exuding a monstrous aura. The scales on its body were flashing with special symbols. Around the demonic beast, a large number of experts from the forbidden space surrounded it and stared at it with vigilance. The Chilean bull roared deeply. The scales on its body exploded with terrifying power and attacked the surroundings. Block. The master of the forbidden space and the group of old ancestors of the forbidden space were shocked when they saw this. They immediately roared loudly. How did our forbidden space offend you? Why do you want to annihilate our forbidden space? A peak universe lord realm old ancestor of the forbidden space could feel the terrifying aura coming from the Chilean bull. He couldn't help but roar. The experts and disciples of the forbidden space are courting death. If my boss wants to annihilate you, no one can save you. The Chilean bull stared at them with a violent aura. As he spoke, the runes condensed into various kinds of violent magical beasts, covering the sky and covering the earth as they attacked the surrounding. Space Magical Array, activate. Mountain Defense Array, activate. One voice after another rang out. In the old lair of the forbidden space, all the experts and disciples in the forbidden space were hovering in the air with ugly expressions. They looked at the towering Chilean bull with fear. Their space forbidden zone had 4 universe ruler realm experts. In the past, they had believed that they were the strongest existences below the heavenly origin fortune level. But today, this magical beast that could speak the human tongue had suddenly charged over. They were terrified. They could clearly sense the terrifying energy contained within the demonic beast's body, which could easily destroy them. How was this possible? In addition, The magical beast's words made them feel terrified. His boss wanted to destroy their forbidden space zone? This caused all the experts from the forbidden space zone to look at the black hole. Over there might be an even more powerful existence. Could this existence be the fortune of Tian Yuan? How did their forbidden space provoke such a terrifying existence? All the experts and disciples in the forbidden space were terrified. The Grand Mountain Protecting Array and the various array formations in the nest were all activated. Boom boom boom, boom boom boom. Terrifying explosions rang out. The Chilean Bull's attack landed on their array, causing their Grand Mountain Protecting Array to shake violently. The energy dissipated rapidly. Perhaps their Grand Mountain Protecting Array wouldn't last much longer. Attack! The master of the Forbidden Space Zone roared furiously. He wielded a huge sword and slashed at the Chilean Bull. Around him, the other 3 Universe Ruler Realm experts also started to counterattack. Roar roar. The Chilean Bull roared, its single horn emitting radiance. The Chilean Bull soared into the sky, as though it was breaking through the sky. He lowered his head slightly. The terrifying energy from the Chilean Bull's horn headed towards the Sword of Space. Boom boom boom, boom boom boom. The Chilean Bull's horn swept across, terrifying dark energy, earth and metal energy. The 3 elements chaotically gathered together. The Chilean Bull's horn swept in all directions. Terrifying collision sounds rang out once again. The attacks of the 4 peak cosmos sovereigns in the forbidden space slowly crumbled when they collided with each other. But the Chilean Bull's attack did not dissipate. How is this possible? What level is this demonic beast at? One of the ancestor of the forbidden space zone roared in shock. The Chilean Bull stared at them, its body going berserk again. The scales on its body started to emit a blood-red aura. It started to transform. His entire body was covered in blood-red scales. His entire body was like a terrifying war machine. The Chilean Bull directly charged towards one of the Universe Ruler Realm experts of the Forbidden Space Zone. That horn was flowing with light. Block. The experts of the Forbidden Space Zone saw this and immediately roared, blocking. Boom boom. However, against the Chilean Bull's charge, all the energy that landed on it could not stop its body at all. The Chilean Bull's incomparably huge body crashed towards the Grand Mountain Protecting Array of the Forbidden Space Zone. His horn directly smashed through the formation. His body was squeezed inwards. Master of the Forbidden Space, the array is about to break. Horrified voices rang out. Especially the experts of the Universe Ruler Realm below the 8th Order. Without the protection of the array, just the shockwaves from the Chilean Bull's attack would be enough to kill them. This battle was not something they could participate in. This demonic beast is too terrifying. Our Forbidden Space Zone is no match for it. The master of the Forbidden Space Zone trembled, his expression was incomparably solemn, his breathing was slightly hurried, and his eyes were bloodshot. All the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Space Zone enter the spatial Aquarius, quickly. At this moment, the Chilean Bull had already broken through their Grand Mountain Protecting Array. The runes on the scales turned into all kinds of demonic beasts, mountains, swords, and sabers that wreaked havoc in the surrounding. RRR. RRR. Some of the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Space Zone who were closer could not even react in time, and were crushed and killed by the terrifying attack. The Chilean Bull's gaze locked onto the master of the Forbidden Space Zone, and instantly charged towards him. Master of the Forbidden Space Zone, quickly escape. Let's all enter the spatial Aquarius and seek help from Lord Tian Yuan Fate. Seek help from Lord Tian Yuan Fate. An ancestor of the Forbidden Space Zone saw the Chilean Bull lock onto the master of the Forbidden Space Zone and shouted loudly. Chapter 4033, Run. The master of the Forbidden Zone saw the Chilean Bull charging towards him. His heart trembled as he roared loudly. Run. He had to run. Otherwise, he would die here. Their Forbidden Zone had a treasure bottle that could protect their lives. However, entering the space bottle was something they would only use when they were in a desperate situation. They would only use it when facing a terrifying enemy like the creation of Sky Yuan. Moreover, this space bottle had a huge drawback. Once they entered, they would not be able to sense the situation outside. Moreover, once the space bottle was obtained by the enemy, they could only wait for death. However, this space bottle had a strong point. Once they entered, even the creation of Sky Yuan would find it difficult to break it. Unless they were in a desperate situation, they would never enter the forbidden zone to hide. However, they had also made some arrangements for this space bottle. As long as they entered the space bottle, it would instantly teleport them to an extremely distant and secretive place. At that time, they could quickly come out of the space bottle and escape. Of course, there was a certain level of risk. All the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Zone, hurry up and enter. We will hold them off for a while. The Patriarch of the Forbidden Zone roared loudly. The three patriarchs waved the space sword in their hands and the terrifying power of space sliced through the void. They slashed towards the Chilean Bull. The Chilean Bull's body glowed brightly. He did not dodge at all and continued to attack the master of the Forbidden Zone. His speed was extremely terrifying. Under the powerful energy interference and fluctuations, the master of the Forbidden Zone could not teleport away. Without teleportation, his speed was much slower when facing the Chilean Bull. Amaterasu sword. The master of the Forbidden Zone roared as the giant sword in his hand floated in front of him, forming a terrifying defense. Boom, boom, boom. However, at this moment, the Chilean Bull charged over. The giant sword was sent flying and landed on the body of the master of the Forbidden Zone. Fart. The master of the Forbidden Zone spat out a large amount of blood and his face turned extremely pale. More than half of his body dissipated from the collision. With the circulation of energy, he reformed again. The strength of the Chilean Bull was not something they could contend with. Even though they were powerful spatial attribute experts, the Chilean Ox was, after all, an existence born from the fall of heaven's origin. Once it came into contact with the fortune of Tian Yuan, it was not something they could compare to. Bam bam bam! The master of the forbidden space was heavily injured by the Chilean Bull. The attacks of the other three patriarchs from the forbidden space also landed on the Chilean Ox. His body froze. Buzz. Making use of this short period of time, the master of the forbidden space hurriedly teleported and escaped. Roar. The Chilean Bull let out a deep roar and the violent energy from its body swept out in all directions. No no no. Some of the experts who didn't manage to escape in time let out roars of despair. The three patriarchs of the forbidden space resisted the attack of the Chilean Bull with great difficulty. Their figures flashed and they instantly teleported towards the space Aquarius. Without the slightest hesitation, they directly entered the interior of the bottle. Since the arrival of the Chilean Ox, in the short span of 10 minutes, a large number of buildings in the forbidden space had been turned into ruins. All the experts and disciples fled into the vase. However, there were still hundreds of thousands of corpses of the experts and disciples of the forbidden space left in the surroundings. The number of experts and disciples in the forbidden space was very small. There were less than 1 million of them in total. Now, at least 1/3 of them had died in a short period of time. This was a battle on a completely different level. They couldn't resist the Chilean Bull at all. Roar. The Chilean Bull sensed something when he saw them escaping instantly. He opened his mouth and spat out violent energy flames in one direction. Boom boom boom. The energy swept across and all the buildings were instantly turned into nothingness. Even a large area of the ground had disappeared. At the bottom, there was an intact vase in the middle. On the surface of the vase, there was a flickering space force. Hey! Are they trying to escape? At the same time, at the 8th level of the Devil Beast Abyss. On the courtyard, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly as he looked at the battle in the black hole. The group of experts from the forbidden space actually didn't put up much resistance and just wanted to escape directly. Even the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and the 5 Elements Grindstone had not started their attacks. They wanted to escape directly. Wang Xian had thought that the forbidden space would have a powerful trump card. Now, it seemed like it was just SOSO. It was a wise choice to escape, but Wang Xian couldn't let them leave. Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his arm, the stellar field fragment instantly entered the black hole and appeared above the forbidden space. Stellar field seal. Wang Xian waved his arm and a wave of energy entered the stellar field fragment. Stellar field seal activated. Back when this stellar field fragment was in the hands of the experts from the Faith Cosmos, Wang Xian was sealed by them with the stellar field seal for a very long time. The Heaven Yuan Good Fortune fragment and stellar field seal instantly enveloped an area. At the center of the forbidden space, the space Aquarius trembled and gradually disappeared. Wang. In the next instant, the space Aquarius disappeared and performed a long-distance teleportation. However, in the second when the space Aquarius was teleported, an invisible and powerful energy enveloped it. This caused the teleportation to fail. It wasn't teleported to a fixed location, but to the edge of the stellar field fragment. This place was within the coverage of the stellar field fragment. It was also within Wang Xian's senses. Now, he could completely control the power of the entire stellar field fragment. With a thought, he could sense the location of the space Aquarius and control it. This. The entire forbidden space isn't a match for that demonic beast at all. They are actually fleeing. SSS, the three Laozu of the forbidden space, the master of the forbidden space, and the four pinnacle universe Lord Realm experts are no match for that demonic beast. How strong is this demonic beast? Now, the entire forbidden space is actually fleeing. Just now, hundreds of thousands of experts and disciples died in the forbidden space despite the protection of the array. If the battle continues, the entire forbidden space will be destroyed. The strength of this demonic beast is too terrifying. The battle only broke out for 10 minutes and the entire forbidden space is collapsing. It's too strong. This is unbelievable. Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm experts with space attribute. Why does it feel like the difference between them and that demonic beast is so huge? Chapter 40-34, Shocked. When all the experts and disciples saw the situation at the Forbidden Space Zone, their faces were filled with shock. It was the third strongest force in their universe. They were forced to flee by a magical beast. In fact, the pinnacle experts of the universe Lord Realm didn't even have the desire to fight back. What did this mean? This meant that the experts of the Forbidden Space Zone knew that they were no match for this magical beast. Moreover, they heard the magical beast say that their boss wanted to annihilate them. In that case, how powerful would their boss be? Because of this, the master of the Forbidden Space Zone didn't flee immediately. Instead, he ordered all the experts and disciples to enter the space Aquarius. This was because they knew that even if another magical beast of this level came, they wouldn't even be able to escape. Once their aura was locked on, they wouldn't be able to escape from their pursuit in this universe. Therefore, they hid in the space Aquarius. As for the entire lair, all the resources and treasures in the Forbidden Space Zone, they could only give up on them. In this universe, no treasures could defend against such a powerful attack. In the courtyard of the 8th floor of the magical beast abyss, everyone looked at this scene in shock. Such a powerful forbidden space was destroyed in such a short time. All the experts had fled. This shocked and made their hair stand on end. They looked at the figure, their faces filled with horror. Especially the surrounding experts and disciples of the Forbidden Space Zone. At this moment, their hearts were filled with fear and despair. They had seen with their own eyes how their Forbidden Space Zone was destroyed. They had seen with their own eyes how the Forbidden Space Zone was destroyed. At this moment, Chilean saw the experts of the Forbidden Space Zone entering a space Aquarius. Seeing the space Aquarius disappear, he couldn't help but roar. "Boss, the experts of the Forbidden Space Zone have entered the space Aquarius. I can sense the aura of the space Aquarius. I'll chase after them." Chilean could sense that the space Aquarius was still within his range of detection. He immediately looked towards the black hole and reported to Wang Xian, "No need. Come back." Wang Xian shook his head at him. He waved his arm and the space within the stellar domain fragment began to shrink. Following which, the stellar domain fragment flew towards the black hole with the space Aquarius imprisoned. The Chilean bull sensed that the space Aquarius was flying towards them again and was slightly surprised. "Boss is mighty. Boss is invincible." The Chilean bull howled like a licking dog and quickly flew towards the black hole. Upon hearing this, Wang Xian chuckled. Not far from the Chilean, the Five Elements Great Grindstone and the Tai Chi Dragon Plate began to search for treasures in the forbidden space. Buzz. At this moment, the space bottle passed through the black hole and flew towards Wang Xian. Not good. Our Forbidden Space's spatial Aquarius has been obtained by him. It's over, it's over. How did he get it just now? Didn't the spatial Aquarius already teleport away? Oh no, it's over. Our Forbidden Space is finished. At this moment, the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Space zones around Wang Xian saw the space Aquarius flying towards Wang Xian. A look of despair appeared on their faces. They knew that all the experts and disciples of the Forbidden Space were hiding inside the spatial bottles. Now that Wang Xian had obtained it, they were completely finished. Grand Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, save our Forbidden Land, save our Forbidden Land. We are also the strongest people in our universe, and also the main fighting force in the war against the cataclysm in the future. Save our Forbidden Land. An expert of the Forbidden Space hurriedly looked at the Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Space and begged for help. Now, only the two lords of the Flowing Water Forbidden Space and the Obscene Forbidden Space could save their Forbidden Space. That holy son Wang Xian was too terrifying, too strong. At this moment, the Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Space, the Second Elder, and the other pinnacle sovereigns of the Obscene Forbidden Space and other sacred grounds, as well as the Sacred Institute. They were also looking at this scene with shock and disbelief. The strength of that demonic beast was too terrifying, and that holy son Wang Xian. Although he did not display his strength, he directly opened up a black hole that connected to the Forbidden Space. With a wave of his arm, the life-saving trump card of the Forbidden Space flew over. Just these two moves alone were enough to shock them. The Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Space had even passed on the urgent news to the Lord of the Forbidden Space. He even asked the Lord of the Forbidden Space to contact Lord Creation of Tian Yuan immediately. In fact, the matter at the Obscene Forbidden Space had nothing to do with them. However, with the appearance of an existence that was suspected to be comparable to Creation of Tian Yuan, they immediately contacted the Lord of the Forbidden Space and ordered him to contact Creation of Tian Yuan. Hehe. Seems like destroying a forbidden space is a piece of cake. At this moment, Wang Xian's voice sounded. At this moment, he was holding a palm-sized spatial Aquarius in his hand. Sensing the entire spatial Aquarius, he smiled. He could sense that there was another space within the spatial Aquarius. In fact, he could even contact the experts of the forbidden space within the spatial Aquarius. However, he realized that he could not break this spatial Aquarius. The entire spatial Aquarius was a very powerful treasure. It was not a treasure of Creation of Tian Yuan, but it was very unique. It was indeed a good life-saving item. However, it was also of little value. If the opponent obtained it, it would basically be a dead end for them. This time, they were in Wang Xian's hands. This also meant that the life and death of the forbidden space was already in his hand. Whoosh, whoosh. The Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Space breathed a little faster when he saw this. He suppressed the shock in his heart and looked at Wang Xian. My lord, Lord Creation of Flowing Water Forbidden Space and Lord Creation of Tian Yuan from the Obscene Forbidden Space should be rushing over here soon. The matter of the Forbidden Space offending you will be dealt with by you later, he said with his head lowered. He could not help but speak. Hehe. Didn't you say that the Flowing Water Forbidden Space and Void Dragon Forbidden Space would not interfere? Why? Now your Lord Creation of Tian Yuan wants to intervene? Wang Xian looked at the Great Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land and smirked. Alright, come on then. Next, I want the Heavenly Yuan creation art of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land to give me an explanation. If he can't satisfy me, hehe, unless his strength can suppress me. As he spoke with a smile, he suddenly looked up and his dragon eyes narrowed slightly. If he can suppress me easily, then everything will be over. Otherwise, someone from the Flowing Water Forbidden Space will die. He shouted coldly as he stared at the top of his head. Chapter 40:35. Wang Xian said coldly. He looked above him. Above him, his dragon eyes pierced through the layers of devil beast abyss. He could see straight to the top. He saw a woman with terrifying energy flying towards him. That woman also lowered her head and looked below. She seemed to have sensed Wang Xian's gaze. She sensed the energy in Wang Xian's body. All of a sudden, the roar of a divine dragon reverberated around Wang Xian, following which, An unparalleled aura burst out from his body. A divine dragon gathered in the sky above Wang Xian. The divine dragon was millions of kilometers long. With invincible aura and energy, it charged upward. The moment the divine dragon appeared, everyone was stunned. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings felt a pressure that came from their souls. They were trembling with fear. They felt incomparably shocked. Rumble. The divine dragon flew up into the sky. Rumble. Rumble. In the next second, the terrifying devil-beast abyss and the thick layers of ground were penetrated by the divine dragon. The divine dragon continued to attack upwards. Wang Xian stood there and looked up. The divine dragon broke through the entire devil-beast abyss. This scene shocked everyone. Everyone was horrified. Such power wasn't something an expert at the pinnacle of the universe Lord Realm could achieve. All they saw was the divine dragon opening up a passage to the 7th level and continuing to fly upward. Wung wung wung. At this moment, they could feel the entire devil-beast abyss trembling. They could feel that the entire devil-beast abyss was about to collapse at any time. Above them, there was also a wave of terrifying energy heading towards the divine dragon. That was water attribute energy. All the water attribute experts could sense it. What kind of attack is this? How can there be such a terrifying attack? What kind of magical beast is that? Oh my god. That Saint Wang Xian is definitely not much weaker than Tian Yuan Zhao Hua. There is a wave of water attribute energy attack above us. Terrifying water attribute energy. This is definitely Lord Tian Yuan Zhao Hua from the Flowing Water Forbidden Area. She is the one who initiated the attack. Oh no. Once they start fighting, we will definitely be annihilated. When the surrounding people saw Wang Xian's sudden attack, they were horrified. They felt their scalps go numb. They felt as though their souls were trembling. In the face of this terrifying energy and might, even though they were existences at the universe ruler level, they felt incomparably tiny. Once a battle of this level really broke out, all of them had to die. Boom. At this moment, they heard a terrifying collision sound coming from above. They seemed to have seen a certain level of the magical beast abyss disappear under this terrifying energy. They saw a blurry figure shrouded in water energy flying towards them. Looking at that figure, Wang Xian revealed a smile. This strike. Wang Xian was here to test the strength of the creation realm experts of Heavenly Yuan. From this test, Wang Xian could sense that the other party's strength wasn't much stronger than his. The aftermath of his attack was something that the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's heavenly primal fortune could not completely resist. This also meant that his opponent's strength was not enough to crush him. Our Flowing Water Forbidden Zone's Lord Tianyuan Good Fortune is here. Our Lord is here. When the surrounding experts and disciples of the Flowing Water Forbidden Zone saw the imposing figure shrouded in water energy, they immediately exclaimed, "Greetings, Lord Tianyuan Good Fortune. Greetings, Lord Tianyuan Good Fortune." They quickly knelt on the ground and greeted. In the surrounding area, the experts from the other forbidden grounds and sacred colleges also knelt on the ground respectfully. In the sky, that figure flew over from the huge passageway that Wang Xian had created. It was as though she was the only person in the entire magical beast abyss. It was as though the entire world was under her control. She was the master of the entire world. Heavenly Yuan Good Fortune, the true Heavenly Yuan Good Fortune. However, at this moment, this Heavenly Yuan Good Fortune was staring at Wang Xian with a slight change in expression. She did not even look at the surrounding people. She stared at Wang Xian's face and sensed his aura. "You are not a living being of our sword and sorcery universe," she said to Wang Xian. "Oh, you can tell?" Upon hearing her words, Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and smiled. "That's true. You are the Heavenly Yuan Good Fortune of the sword and sorcery universe. You should be able to sense it." "Heh. What?" However, the words of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land's divine origin creation stage powerhouse shocked everyone around them. What? This holy son Wang Xian was not a living being of their sword and sorcery universe. He was not from their universe. How could this be possible? "I can sense an aura from you. What's the relationship between you and Lord Water Divine Dragon?" The heavenly Yuan good fortune expert from the flowing water forbidden zone continued. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback by her words. Water divine dragon. This heavenly Yuan good fortune of the flowing water forbidden zone actually knew Lord Water Divine Dragon from the Divine Dragon race? Wang Xian's heart skipped a beat as he thought of the Book of Water Forbidden Spells and the passageway that led to this universe. He understood something. A long time ago, a great war broke out between the Divine Dragon race and the Insect race. Both the Divine Dragon race and the Insect race were annihilated, including our Lord Water Divine Dragon. She fell in that war. I'm just a junior who inherited her legacy. She rebuilt the glory of the Divine Dragon race and came to your sword and sorcery universe through the passageway hundreds of millions of years ago. What's your relationship with Senior Water Divine Dragon? Wang Xian did not hide anything as he asked her directly. Lord Water Divine Dragon has fallen? The heavenly Yuan good fortune of the flowing water forbidden zone felt emotional and the surrounding water energy fluctuated. During the last cataclysm, our sword and sorcery universe was in danger. I happened to meet Lord Water Divine Dragon and received some pointers from her. We made some deals, and that's how I was able to break through to the heavenly Yuan good fortune realm. The heavenly Yuan good fortune of the flowing water forbidden zone said as she looked at Wang Xian. I didn't expect Lord Water Divine Dragon to fall. However, you have inherited the Divine Dragon race. Your potential is strong and terrifying. You're too humble. I still have a long way to go before I reach the heavenly Yuan good fortune realm. Wang Xian replied plainly. The heavenly Yuan good fortune of the flowing water forbidden zone actually had a relationship with Senior Water Divine Dragon. This was something Wang Xian had not expected. The scene of the heavenly Yuan good fortune of the flowing water forbidden zone meeting Senior Water Divine Dragon was completely different from what he had expected. Chapter 4036. This, our Lord Tian Yuan Zhaohua of the flowing water forbidden land actually has some relationship with this expert from another universe, the Dragon King? This daunting Saint Wang Xian's predecessor actually guided our Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land to break through? How could there be such a coincidence? In that case, how will our Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land resolve this matter? Who would have thought that Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land would have such a close relationship with this Wang Xian? The conversation between Wang Xian and the heavenly origin creation realm expert of the flowing water forbidden land shocked all the surrounding experts and disciples. There was actually a trace of a relationship. In that case, how would Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land resolve this matter? How would he resolve this situation? Everyone was shocked beyond words. No one had expected things to develop to this stage. Buzz. At this moment, the surrounding space trembled slightly. A figure radiating with golden light gradually appeared at the side. The golden light dissipated, revealing a burly figure standing there. This was an old man holding a huge axe in his hand. The old man exuded boundless majesty. The terrifying sharpness was not concealed at all. The moment the old man appeared, all the surrounding experts who were wielding metal attribute swords fell to the ground uncontrollably. It was as though they were under immense pressure. Some of the metal element experts felt themselves to be incomparably small. This old man seemed to be in control of their lives and had the power to decide their life and death. Greetings, Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land. Greetings, Lord Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land. The group of experts and disciples from the embroiled forbidden land hurriedly knelt on the ground again and greeted loudly when they saw the old man. The rest of the experts and disciples from the Sacred Grounds and Sacred Institute also knelt on the ground and greeted loudly. The two experts from the Sword and Sorcery universe, Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land, had both arrived. Wang Xian looked at the old man with flickering eyes. Liu Lan, what's going on? The old man looked at Tian Yuan fate of the flowing water forbidden land and asked. I haven't asked. This is an expert from the Nine Essences universe. He's the successor of the Divine Dragon clan. Liu Lan shook her head and introduced to the old man. After which, she turned to Wang Xian and asked, How do I address you, Dragon King? Why did you destroy the forbidden space? My name is Wang Xian. He looked at the two creation realm experts from the sword and sorcery universe and continued, as for why you want to destroy the forbidden land of space, you can ask the disciples and experts under you. The divine dragon tribe of the nine essences universe. The creation of heavenly primordial realm elder from the obscene forbidden land muttered to himself. His eyes shone as he looked at his subordinates from the obscene forbidden land. Patriarch. A peak sovereign realm expert shouted respectfully before transmitting his voice to Huang Xiaolong. In the flowing water forbidden land, the Grand Elder of the flowing water forbidden land hurriedly reported. He didn't dare to hide anything. He didn't dare to tell any lies. This is Wang Xian, Dragon King. The forbidden land of space belongs to the experts of our sword and sorcery universe. It's a powerful force in our universe. The cataclysm is coming, and there are other ways to resolve it. The creation of heavenly primordial realm expert from the obscene forbidden land frowned slightly and looked at Wang Xian. The strength of Wang Xian's attack just now. He had already felt it. He had also felt the 9 elemental energies contained in Wang Xian's body. Although he hadn't reached the creation of heavenly primordial realm, his terrifying combat strength was no weaker than theirs. Against an expert of this level, he didn't dare to be aggressive. He couldn't be aggressive either. I'm not an expert from your sword and sorcery universe. Upon hearing him, Wang Xian replied plainly. How does the Dragon King intend to resolve this? Liu Lan looked at Wang Xian and asked. The forbidden land of space has brought about its own destruction. Apart from the forbidden land of space, there's also the flowing water forbidden land. As a creation of heavenly primordial realm expert and the strongest expert in the flowing water forbidden land, I hope you can give me a complete answer. Wang Xian looked at Liu Lan without any intention of backing down. He had said that both his and Long Yinhao's matters needed a complete solution. If they didn't give him a solution, they would have to pay the price. What's the matter? The water energy around Liu Lan dissipated, revealing her face. It was the face of a woman. At this moment, she was also frowning slightly as she looked at Wang Xian. Unless it was absolutely necessary, they didn't want to be enemies with Wang Xian, because once they really started fighting, in the center of their sword and sorcery universe, they couldn't afford to bear the consequences. Especially before the cataclysm. If a terrifying war really broke out, it would almost be a declaration that the cataclysm was coming. Their sword and sorcery universe would disappear completely. It would be conquered. Therefore, both the creation of heavenly primordial realm experts from the flowing water forbidden land and the creation of heavenly primordial realm experts from the flowing water forbidden land were suppressing their dissatisfaction. Hundreds of millions of years ago, you issued an order forbidding the disciples in your universe from killing each other. However, I have a younger brother here, a disciple of your sword and sorcery universe, who was attacked and killed by a disciple of your flowing water forbidden land. In addition, today, the leader of your flowing water forbidden land shielded his grandson and pretended that nothing had happened. I need an explanation for this. Wang Xian answered Liu Lan. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, Liu Lan frowned even more tightly. A cold glint flashed in her eyes. She looked at the group of experts and disciples of the flowing water forbidden land below. My lord, this matter. The great elder and second elder of the flowing water forbidden land heard Wang Xian's words. Seeing the anger on Liu Lan's face, they quickly knelt on the ground again and wanted to explain. There's no need to explain. Just tell me everything. Liu Lan said to them calmly. Yes, my lord. Upon hearing the words of their creation of heavenly primordial realm expert, the great elder of the flowing water forbidden land and the rest didn't dare to hide anything. They recounted everything in full detail. TSK, he didn't even listen to our orders. I think Xiao he has really become the leader of the flowing water forbidden land and has forgotten who he is. Upon hearing the outcome of the matter, Liu Lan snorted coldly. Her words sent shivers down everyone's spines. In their universe, the only people who dared to speak to the leaders of the flowing water forbidden land in such a manner were probably these two. Abolish his position as the leader of the flowing water forbidden land and lock him in the flowing water prison until the cataclysm arrive. Liu Lan continued coldly. As her voice trailed off, No one dared to speak. All of them lowered their heads. Everyone could feel the depressing atmosphere around them. It was as though the sky had collapsed. Chapter 4037. When the creation realm experts of Sky Yuan were enraged, the sky would collapse and the earth would sink. With just a change in their mood, the entire space seemed to change along with them. No one would have thought that the master of the flowing water forbidden land would suffer such a terrible punishment just because he shielded his own grandson. Below, Liu Shui Haolian's body was trembling violently. Cold sweat was dripping down his face. His face was full of horror and despair. He had not expected this matter to escalate to such an extent. He had not expected the forbidden land of space to be destroyed because of his actions against Long Yinhao. Even the two Sky Origin creation stage powerhouses of their universe were alarmed. He had a premonition that he was probably done for. Completely done for. Dragon King, I'll get to the bottom of this matter. I'll settle everything. Liu Lan looked at Wang Xian and said, according to the rules you announced, all those who violate the rules will die. For your sake, Senior Liu Lan, those disciples involved in this matter will be killed immediately, and will not be resurrected. In addition, the masters and elders of the Forbidden Land who shielded him may be spared from death, but they will not escape punishment. All of their strength will be crippled. Wang Xian looked at her and said. His words caused Liu Lan's expression to change slightly, and she looked a little unhappy. Dragon King, isn't this request a little too much? Liu Lan looked at Wang Xian with a sullen expression as she spoke. Not at all. You must abide by the rules you set yourself. I don't want an outsider like me to interfere. Wang Xian looked at her calmly and answered. His tone was full of dominance. We will settle the matters of our sword and sorcery universe internally. Off to the side, the creation realm divine essence cultivator from the thoughtful Forbidden Land also spoke up coldly. Hehe, since you want to shield him, then I'll settle it myself. Wang Xian swept his gaze across them and smiled. A wave of energy enveloped Long Yinhao and Long Yinyin. He looked around, and with a wave of his hand, the Book of Water Forbidden Spells floated above him. The stellar domain fragment turned into a planet and came below Wang Xian. At the same time, a wave of pressure slowly enveloped the surroundings. Under this pressure, Wang Xian could kill everyone except the Pinnacle Universe Sovereigns and the Ninth Order Universe Sovereigns with a single thought. Water Forbidden Spell Book. Liu Lan saw that Wang Xian did not give them any face and was not afraid of them at all. Looking at the fragment of the Book of Water Forbidden Curse above him, he said with an ugly expression. 2 pieces of Heaven's Fortune Treasure. The creation realm divine essence cultivators from the obscene Forbidden Land looked extremely grim as well. They stared at the starfield fragment beneath Wang Xian with the same bitter expression. The atmosphere instantly froze. Hoo-hoo. Hoo-hoo. In the surroundings, all the experts from the sacred grounds and the forbidden grounds watched this scene with rapid breathing. They felt as if they were going to die at any moment. The terrifying atmosphere caused them to feel incomparably stifled, making it hard for them to breathe. Some of the weaker ones began to tremble violently. Fear, fear. If they really fought, would they be able to survive? It would probably be very, very difficult. Dragon King, are you threatening us? Liu Lan's face darkened when she saw this scene, and she spoke again. Yes. Wang Xian nodded his head. Although Liu Lan was related to the water divine dragon, it was only a relationship. What did it have to do with him? Some people in the flowing water forbidden land had to pay the price for their mistakes. Otherwise, it would mean that they were not giving him face. In that case, there was no need for Wang Xian to give Liu Lan face. Temph, your combat strength is strong, but you have not reached the creation realm. If Liu Lan and I join forces, do you really think we can't kill you? The creation realm divine essence experts from the obscene forbidden land raised the golden axe in their hands and stared at Wang Xian coldly. You wouldn't dare. Wang Xian looked at them and spoke without a shred of fear. If the two of them joined forces, Wang Xian would definitely not be their match. However, Wang Xian was still very confident that he could escape by himself. Wang Xian guessed that they wouldn't dare to make a move. Of course, they might have their own trump cards, or they might dare to make a move. However, Wang Xian felt that the possibility was low. They wouldn't dare to make a move. If they did, their losses would be even greater. Then, do you dare to make a move? Liu Lan stared at Wang Xian with a dark expression and asked coldly. He. Wang Xian chuckled and lifted his palm slowly. Liu Lan's eyes narrowed, and the water around her began to swirl. Rumble, 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 rumble. However, just as Wang Xian was about to make a move to kill the Great Elder and Second Elder of the Flowing Water Forbidden Land, suddenly, a terrifying aura came from below. A demonic pillar suddenly shot up from below. Buzz, 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 buzz. Heaven and earth shook. Heaven and earth resonated. The floors of the magical beast abyss above vanished into thin air. Yes, from the first floor to the 8th floor, there was originally a thick layer of soil separating them. However, this layer of soil had disappeared. A mighty and violent sound came from the heavens and earth. The terrifying, devastating aura came from below, acting as the heaven and earth. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, I've finally broken through. Creation Realm Divine Essence, Creation Realm Divine Essence, I'm finally going to live another life. Following which, an extremely excited and violent voice sounded. Wang Xian was stunned by the sudden scene. It also stunned Liu Lan and the Creation Realm Divine Essence experts from the obscene Forbidden Land. Their faces were filled with astonishment as they looked down. A breakthrough. Someone had actually broken through to the Creation Realm Divine Essence. The 9th floor of the magical beast abyss. An expert had broken through to the Creation Realm Divine Essence. Aja Sky Demon God has broken through. Boss, Aja Sky Demon God has broken through. Hearing this voice and feeling this aura, Qilin was also shocked. He roared in disbelief. Yes, I didn't expect him to break through. When Wang Xian heard the news, he revealed an embarrassed expression. If not for the sudden incident with Long Yinhao, he would have come here this time. He was prepared to kill Aja Sky Demon God once and for all, and then let Qilin devour him. Perhaps Qilin could also break through to the Creation Realm Divine Essence in the future. When that time comes, the Dragon Palace would have 2 Creation Realm Divine Essence expert. At that time, even if they returned to the Nine-Source universe, they would not be afraid of the Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan. But to his surprise, Aja Sky Demon God had broken through. To him, this was not good news. To the entire Sword and Sorcery universe, this was even worse news. In fact, Aja Sky Demon God's breakthrough would destroy the entire Sword and Sorcery universe.